Hello, YouTube. I'm back again. Today, I want to talk about restricted conversations. Okay, the last couple of days, it's been some strange things happening to my channel. I mean, if you watch my last live last Thursday, you see I was cut off in the middle of my video, and I had to basically start all over again because I couldn't get back on. It wasn't any storms or anything. It was just so clear. But that happens a lot to me for some reason. I think I'm talking too much. But that's what YouTube is about, talking. But I think I'm talking about the wrong thing. So I don't really want to moan and groan about what's happening to me. I'm here to talk about other things. I just want everybody to know that my channel might buffer a little bit because I can't help myself. I'm gonna say some things. And the other day, yesterday, matter of fact, my channel just paused for no reason. I was in the middle of watching a live video and I was making comments on the thing, and all of a sudden my channel just paused. My keyboard wouldn't work, nothing wouldn't work, and I couldn't understand it. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, the equipment is basically brand new. I mean, it's been a few years, about 3 years old. I mean, so I don't understand why I would do that, but hey, what can I say? Okay, I like to say hi, WD Glock. Hi, Uncle Al, Bullfrog 79. Hey, Adam, how you doing? Let's see. Hey, Breezer, how you doing? Hey, Lori, how you doing? So that's all I wanted to say about that. I mean, I just want to talk about different things. I'm gonna try not to get too much involved in stuff I think they might make my channel act up. I just want to talk about basically a few things out here, like being self-reliant and sustainable, growing a garden. You gotta be able to do this nowadays because things are gonna change. And like I said, it's been changing slowly right now. And I'm so glad that it is, not that it's changing. I'm just glad that it's happened slowly so we can have time to prepare when things just take off. It's like we're at a race, we're on a racing track, and we at a drag racer and the lights keep flickering, green, blue, red, yellow, and waiting for it to go to green again so your car can just take off. Hey, Uncle Unpaved Explorer, how you doing? Hey, Detroit, how you doing? So I'm just saying, we at the starting gate, and we waiting to see what's going to happen next. Like I said, we have about 70% of SHTF because we haven't gotten any better, but it haven't gotten any worse yet. But the worst is coming. And like I said, I seen something the other day that they said the economy. They said this is the best economy we had. Well, not the best, but the fastest growing economy we had in 40 years, which is hard to believe. 40 years, and I've been around for a lot of those, all of those. Matter of fact, I even remember 2008 when we had, I guess they call it a crash or whatever. I remember it was just terrible. Then you had the savings and loan thing. Remember the savings and loans? People don't even know what savings and loan banks are. Our first bank account was on the savings and loan, but they all gone. There is no savings and loans anymore, and people don't remember that. They think all banks are the same. They're not. We still got credit union, but a lot of them got demolished back then too. Savings and loans, credit unions, mortgage companies, housing, all that. That's why when you look around a lot of neighborhoods, you see houses that looks great and they all boarded up because of that balloon mortgage thing that they came out with back in them days, and we're headed that way again. So I'm just gonna say that. So like I said, I'm trying to watch what I say because I don't want any more trouble with my channel because I want to make sure that I can get the message out. But I can't get the message out if I'm not on. It may sound funny, but that's the way it is. Okay. I want to talk about this defunding police thing because people are still talking about that, and they don't seem to understand what they're talking about. See, when you start talking about, unpaid, the crash cost me my job. I can believe that. It cost a lot of people jobs. I mean, back then, it did. I mean, I lost a job back when Reaganomics first switched over and hit. That's back in the 80s. That's way back in. That was like in 80. I think it might have been 80, 81. I lost the job, but I got another one. I got a better job, so don't worry about it. You got a better job, I hope. But hey, one day I'm gonna get in touch with you, Unpaved Explorer. We'll hook up maybe down at the pond down there around the cultural gardens. You know, I'll show you that those solar things I was telling you about, that solar garden. Oh, anyway, let me get back to this. I was talking about defunding the police. You can't defund the police. You can if you want to, then you do it, you're a fool. Because as simple as this, they here to protect and serve. And the only reason people are talking about they can defund the police because the police is always local. I mean, sheriffs and stuff like that, that's usually county, but each city has their own basically police force. And that's why they coming up with this stuff, because like I said, it wasn't an American idea. Police came from over in England and stuff. And they brought that here and it was seeming to work. And so we kept it and everybody got police. But if you defund the police, and I'm gonna tell you the deep state, I don't know why I even say the deep state, but anyway, let me tell you something. These people that's behind the power in Washington, Joe Biden is not the power in Washington. Donald Trump wasn't the power in Washington. They here 8 years at the most and they gone. When you look back and you'll find out over the last 70, 80 years, it's the same situation we in year after year after year after year. And you should ask yourself, and I did, why is this always the same situation? Why is it always a two-party system that can't get along? Why is it always like this? And I did, and I went back and I looked at it and I said, that's because we got politicians in there that's 84, 85, 89 years old that been in power for over 60 years. And they're the ones, those are the ones that have the power. Those are the ones that have all the power and all of the stuff that you can get. Every time you turn around, you hear somebody say, well, this guy's the chairman of this committee, and he's blocking this, and he's blocking that, and they filibustering this. Well, I mean, if the president has so much power, he would just sign off and go ahead. But it's not like that because this is how this country is, and they can block it. That's why we stay the way we are. I mean, you can't just give the president this clock bunch. I mean, he can sign anything he wants to, but it's a system. It's going to take years to get over the system because it's just crazy. It's just crazy. And I think that they should have term limits on politicians. I don't think no politician should be in the office after they turn 70. 70 should be out relaxing like me. You know, I'm not 70 yet, but I'm just saying, once you start getting in your 60s and get ready to turn 70, you should be ready to step down. You should not be a politician for over 40 years. 40 years, and then you haven't gotten shit done, and then you're always gonna blame the next guy. And that's the problem. You got guys that have been there for 40 years. Look at these guys, Mnuchin and Pelosi, and all these guys that's in office, and they've been there, and they sit up there and they cry and scream about this guy, that guy, this guy ain't doing this guy doing that, and they sitting up there and they doing the same damn thing. And I'm talking about both powers, Republicans and Democrats, both parties. Because see, I'm not a Republican and I'm not a Democrat. And I'm an independent voter. I'm an independent thinker. I vote for whoever I like, you know. And hold up, one of them calls again. See, every time I start talking politics or something like that, I get that warning call on the phone. That's to let me know, stop talking about that. Okay, so I'm gonna stop talking about that because I'll get ready to go off on them. Yeah, because we got a mess. We got to get out of this mess one day. And it's a mess out here. It's still the same old story, same old song. Yep. You know, so like I said, it's too much jealousy and too much hate going on to get this country together. I mean, I got all the questions, but I ain't got no answers. And I know that's how they feel. That's how, you know, I got all the questions, but I got no answers. And I wish I did have a lot of answers. And like I said, I got to be careful what I say. That's why I say this is going to be a restricted conversation because I'm not going to go into it too deeply. Laura, look at my state. Can't get rid of McConnell. No, you can't. He's going to be there till he die. He's gonna be there. He's gonna be there till he die. Lindsey Graham gonna be there till he die. These guys gonna be there till they die. They're not going. It's politicians right now. They got birthdays coming up this month. They in their 80s, 84, 85. They haven't been with the people or lived with the people or know how people live in over 50 years because they've been in politics, living in these big $200,000 mansions. I'm pretty sure not too many people out here live in a mansion that listening to me. If they did, they'd just laugh it off as a joke. They say, look at this. But I'm just saying, we are the blue collar people. We are the normal people. We are the ones that's getting hit every day with stuff that they doing in Washington that don't make no sense because they're out of touch with people. You know, and it's just a shame. Okay, Nielsen Original Art and Design says you're right. These dinosaurs got to go. They need to go. They really do. But they're not going to step down, and they're not going to vote an amendment in the limited age on that. You know, what they did was they raised the age of retirement for Social Security people. Remember that? Remember it used to be 65. Now it's 70, I think 72 now, because they trying to protect what they got. But they don't do nothing. They finna take off a whole month in August. They get so many vacations. Now, do they even work? I mean, I'm sorry. I better stop because I've got a feeling that phone is going to ring or my channel is going to start buffering and they're going to take me off again. So I'm not going to even get into that. Okay. Guns Coast to Coast say, I think they're lizard people. They're not going to die. Yeah. Now, let me tell you, lizard people die. Their average lifespan is about 300 years. I mean, that's the average lifespan, but they like us and stuff like that. They get injured. But you got to remember one thing about lizard people. They grow back. They grow back limbs and stuff like that. You know, because that's that amphibian DNA they got. They can lose a hand and grow it back, but it ain't going to grow back overnight. It grows back. You know, they can lose a tail and it grows back. That's why they live so long. But if they keep losing stuff and keep getting injured, they will eventually die. Nothing ever happened. They live to be about 300 years old, you know, because they are dinosaurs. They don't look like alligators, but they do have scales. Okay, I never seen a lizard person up front and in person. They never sat in the kitchen and had a beer with me or anything like that. But I'm just saying that's what they are. And I do believe in the lizard people. I do believe in aliens. I do believe in UFOs. Because I'm not naive to think that after all these million years that we are the only ones in this galaxy and we're the only thing on this planet that's smart. See, now, I don't know. Hey, Rachel Vanderpool, how you doing? Hey, let's see. Okay, I got everybody in the chat. Yeah, so like I said, and another thing I want to tell you people when I was talking about defund the police, I mean, you can't defund the police. Don't even try to do it. What you want to do, you want to go in there and get all these police officers and have them retake the test. And then have them all evaluated. The ones that can pass the psychological test, keep them. The ones that can't, give them a pension, put them out the pasture. You got the police, but you just want to weed out the bad ones. But you don't want to get rid of all the good ones either, because there is some good ones out there. So like I say, you know what you'll end up with if you defund the police? You end up with private law firms. You end up like you ever see the movie RoboCop? You end up with OCP. You end up with a company. Like we got a lot of they got a lot of companies out here that got private security companies. You know, like matter of fact, when we were in Iran and Iraq and stuff like that, we had Blackwater, which is a private military police company. And they were doing a lot of stuff for the U.S. Army that they wasn't doing. And that's what we end up here. We end up with like an Omni Consumer Products, an OCP or a Blackwater or something else. I'm not going to say any other company names because I don't want to get sued. But we end up with those private security companies, you know, because there's a lot of them out there. They got thousands of workers all over the world. Okay, Guns Coast to Coast says they don't have hair under the human skin they wear. No, lizards don't have hair. And unpaid for if lizard people replace body parts, can they go bald? No, they don't. Lizards do not have hair. They have scales. That's why they shapeshifters. As a matter of fact, they not even they sort of, how can I say this? Not so much shapeshifters. Yeah, they shapeshifters because that's the only thing you can call it. They like chameleons. They're like chameleons. They can blend in and sort of make you see what they want you to see because they release these pheromones and out there. They do a little telekinetic stuff. They can't do mind control, but they can make you see things. You know, they do something with the lights. I'm not like I said, I haven't been there. You know, maybe I might be a lizard person. You never know. All of a sudden, I just start changing into a lizard. I don't know. That's they don't have hair. Okay, Coast to Coast say you can't even tell male from female. You gotta flip them over to tell. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. You know what? I had a turtle for years. I really did. I had a turtle for years. It was for my oldest daughter. We had this turtle for like 8 years. When we first got it, it was about this big. And when we let it go, it was about this big. And then we took it up to the pond and we let it go because it got too aggressive. You know, after a while from being in captivity, it used to start killing all the fish in there. And so we let it go. And I still to this day don't know if the turtle was a male or female. We just called it Domino. So I don't know. I mean, I really didn't know. Bill P said private contractors make their own rules. You're absolutely right. That's why they were having so much trouble over there with the private contractors, but they make so much money. You think police officers make a decent buck now? If you defund, I'm gonna just use my city for example. If you defund all the Cleveland police and put them all out the pasture, you just pay them what they owe, pay their pension. You know how much money you will be paying these private contractors and stuff like that. You probably have to pay their pensions or anything, but you're gonna have to pay them a lot of money. And do you think they care about your welfare and they think they care about you because they're not in your city? They don't live with you. They're not part of your community. They're just private contractors. They're gonna come in there and they're gonna enforce the law by their own rules. That's right, Bill. You absolutely right. Hey, Josh, how you doing? Okay, Adam says Dynacorp and Triple Canopy are two more contracted militia. Militaries. Yeah, you're right. You're right, and that's what you would get because they would be paid by the city. They would set up barracks or something out there. They would open up a camp or something like that. They would stay in the camp, and then they would patrol your streets, and they would go by the strictest rule of the law. You'll figure out 20 years from now when your city is under control, you think you're under martial control because these people do not conform to normalcy. That's what I'm gonna say. They would take you and get you if you're out in curfew violation. This could be a precursor to the future. You know, when you see these movies in the future, how all these people and police are out there in brown shirts, and there's a national police force, and they all out there taking people left and right and making them Hunger Games. Okay, that's what you're heading for. You're heading for the Hunger Games, and these policemen are not your neighbors. You might end up with a local police force, maybe a 10 people at the most, you know. But everybody else will be regular policemen. They gonna be regular these OCP cops. That's what I'm gonna call them, and that's what's gonna happen. Defund them if you want to. I'm gonna just sit back because I won't be here that much longer. You know, I'm at that age where I look in the obituary every morning when I wake up, and then I check on YouTube to see who died. You know, it's funny. I go in the room and I read the Bible. You know, I'm cramming for my finals. I've said that before. So I'm saying, you know, hopefully I want to live to be 100, but hopefully I can get another 20, 25 years in to see my grandson graduate from college. But who knows what might happen. Like I said, this is a young person world, and the young people are not listening. They are not listening. They're tearing it up. They messing up this world. They're being led. They're being, how should I say this? They being brainwashed. I think I said that before. I'm trying to remember. They being brainwashed. They don't understand. They just being led. You know what I mean? They being conditioned. That's what I want to say. They being conditioned to a world that is coming, not a world that's here, not something that they have to live in now. Hold up, let me catch up with the comments, see, because like I say, this is going to be a restricted conversation. I'm not just going to talk. I'm going to basically go through all the comments and try to read everybody's comment. Okay, what's up, brother? Hey, everyone. Hey, Homestead, healthy Homestead chickens in the house. How you doing? Yeah. Okay. I like your last video when you was talking about the strangers in the van. You got to keep your head on the swivel, and you got to be armed at all times, especially if you out where you live at and you there by yourself and you working in your garden. You never know. They'll pull up and try to snatch you and do things to you. You'll be face on a milk carton. So I like that video. Thank you for the warning. Okay. Gone coast to coast. When people think the military won't turn on them, the military use capitalism against you. Just buy an army. You know what? A lot of people buy armies. They do. It's armies out there for sale. You know, they've been doing that for years. They call them what they call them not militias, mercenaries. Yeah, had to think for a minute. I had an old folks moment. Let's see. Okay, Moon Glazer is in the house. How you doing, Gazer? Moon Gazer. Eventually, their budget for outsourcing policies will be huge. Look, they don't worry about the budget. The budget don't count anymore. Don't ever talk about the federal budget. It don't even matter anymore. Anytime you can sit up there and say we're going to spend $1.7 trillion, and just like that, I mean, it don't even matter anymore. If they want to really get some money and they want to talk about the budget, stop giving all these foreign countries our money. And that's the problem. They've been doing it since I've been a little kid. They've been giving all these, they call it foreign aid, all this foreign money. You know, and it's hurting America. We can't get shit. Excuse me, there you go again. We can't get nothing done here. We got to go tooth and nail to fight for scraps while they just giving away money. It's just crazy. It's like you go to a restaurant and you order a piece of cake, but they say, look, the cake is going to cost you $100, and you say, well, I only got $90, and they say, well, we can't give you all the cake. We'll give you a little bit of the cake. And then they turn around, they say this little piece of cake for $90, and then they take whatever left cake they got left and give it to somebody for free. And how would you feel? You walk in and get half of that cake, and the other half they give it to somebody else that come behind you for free. And now you feel stupid. I mean, that's how life is, and that's how it is with our politicians. They will make you, the American people, struggle while they give away shit. They give it to other people. Okay. Detroit Prepper. Let's see, Irvin. I mean, let's go to okay. I'm getting behind. Unpaved Explorer said that was a very good movie. RoboCop, probably. Detroit Prepper say, Ray, is there any chance total collapse is not coming? And we will survive. And all we will survive some but normalcy. Okay. Now, this is only my opinion because I'm just like the rest of you. I don't know everything. You know, I got more questions than answers. But it's coming. It's not a total collapse. When let me tell you, when the apocalypse happened, it's by design. Everything that is being done to us is by design. This is what I believe. It's a system. They don't want everything to happen at once where everything can be chaos, but they want things to happen where they can control it. And those who I'm talking about control it is the people in power. Because if we have a total collapse, Washington, nobody gonna care what's happening in Washington. Nobody, not even the states. Nobody gonna say, oh, we gotta protect our politicians in Washington. Nobody's gonna care. Right now, we got an organization. I'm not gonna say FEMA. We got an organization that's supposed to go to every state and help us. And don't do it. They don't really do anything. So when the total collapse comes, and we do hit that 100% where we at an impasse and we get messed around because there's look like we're gonna collapse completely and not gonna be able to come back. We're not gonna be able to come back. This country will not be the same. Once we hit that 100% point and it's gonna be apocalypse, what's gonna happen is we're gonna have martial law. It's coming, and everybody knows it's coming. We even have many martial laws and stuff. You have a small riot, they may send the National Guard in, and somebody's taking notes on how long this stuff works. But when it do happen, and we have martial law, it ain't gonna be your local National Guard. Your local National Guard gonna be put under house arrest. They ain't gonna let your neighbor go out there and help you. See, I'm starting to buffer. What they're gonna do is they're gonna send a real military force in. The army's coming, or whoever they got there's coming. Some people say it might be UN troops. I don't know. I don't really know. But I knew we got them here, but I don't know what they doing here. They could be training, they could be learning. I have no idea. But I'm just saying this all is happening by design. And it's been that way for years. And it's the powers that be that's behind the scene that's running everything. It ain't the president. He ain't even in the country. Neither one of them is in the city or Washington or whatever. I mean, that's how the president of the United States, whoever they are, they just a figurehead. You look at all these presidents that have been here in the office and all the same stuff that's happening now. Why is it? I almost said shit. Why is the stuff still happening now? Why is it still happening? Ain't no one man that's gonna ever change this system, because you got a system in Washington, D.C. that's full of 45, 50-year veterans in the Senate that got their own agenda that's probably all teamed up, and they like this. They like a hand. And they all behind the scene. It's a new, that's why I'll say it better, the New World International Economic Order, or whatever it is. And it's all about money. It is all about control. It's about power and money. You look at certain people that is not even farmers bought land, I'm not saying names, out there that control the food. They control the food. They go, let me see. Hold up. I think I did write something down here. I had something I wrote down. I wanted to say it, but I don't know what I did with it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, here it is. I wrote it down. It's all about control. Mind, money, industry, food, and people. And that's what we in now. That's the battle we in now. That's the battle we in now. We're in a battle for control of our mind, money, body, mind, money, industry, food, and the people. The people, which is us, the body. And that's what's happening now. And we're losing that battle. We already lost the battle for the money. We already lost the battle for the industry. We're losing the battle for the food. Pretty soon they're going to have our mind believing everything they put out is real. We're going to be singing jingles. You know, we're going to be singing jingles as regular music and stuff like that. And the people are going to be we're just going to be there. We're going to be just out there, you know. We ain't gonna know. We're gonna be dumbed down. Our educational system is only good. What we had a thing in the Black community that we called the talented 10th. You know what I mean? That's only a 10th of the people were actually carrying the other people. You know, I don't believe that, but they had it out there. So let me read some of these comments. Okay, and that's what to answer your question, Detroit Prepper. When it happens, it's happening by design. It's coming. We'll never be back to normal, and the states are going to be on their own until they come with this army out of whatever Washington going to get them and get us. And all the states are not going to be the same. Just Josh laughing. Gun coast to coast. Total deflation is what's coming. We'll just live with even less money, less hope, less happiness. Just Josh programs. Okay. Hello. Modest Boom Gazer. Agree, but less. Oh, excuse me, it jumped up there. Oh, I'm way up there. Okay. Agree, less, but not lost. Okay. Schools are telling the kids to think instead of thinking of themselves. They are making the young think their wants are the same as their needs. That's a good one. That's a good one. That was Bill. Rachel, she says, people enjoy life as you have been given time here in this side of the universe. Yeah, we you know, it's some strange things that people do. Mercenaries. Okay, that's Adam. Unbelievable. They're pushing for information of the origin of the virus, China will be held accountable. It don't even matter. It don't even matter if they find out where that virus is coming from because it's here. They need to find out how to keep it from coming back, but they're too busy doing other things. Oh, speaking of the virus, I don't want to talk about the virus because that's a no-no. I see they had a breakthrough in the HIV virus field. They think they got a cure. They really came through and they think they got a cure. Okay, and another thing, I want to throw this out while I'm thinking about it. You know they're gonna have the Ring of Fire tonight, right? If those of you who don't know what the Ring of Fire is, that's the total eclipse of the moon tonight. You know, the day they're gonna have it, and it's gonna when it first starts, it's gonna look like it's a ring of fire around the moon, and that's why they call it the Ring of Fire total eclipse. That's gonna happen tonight, and this is the second eclipse we done had in like 4 weeks, which is strange. I just want to throw that out. Let me finish reading. That's right, Rachel. Hi, Ray. That's Al. Hey, circling. Say, Adam says the sad part is a lot of countries we give money to hate us. Of course, they hate us. And you know what? We do the stupidest stuff. Let me tell you. Remember, I think I mentioned the last time that Israel and Palestine just had a war or whatever they had it. I don't even know because I really don't care. And then we had to give Palestine, what is it, $1.5 billion. Now, somebody please tell me, why did the U.S. have to give Palestine $1.5 billion? Why us? You know, and I'm gonna blame Harry Truman for this. And you know why I say that? Because Truman, he back in 47, he signed that paper, the Truman Doctrine, which made the United States the world police. We wasn't the world police. We didn't do this stuff in 1925, 1935, 1945. We got in the war back then, but we wasn't the world police. We was always isolationists. We tried to stay out of the wars. But when Truman came in and he signed this paper after he meet with these aliens and stuff like that, because Truman started all this alien stuff, meeting with them, giving them places to stay and stuff like that. That's a whole other story. Oh, my daughter just came home. So anyway, like I said, it all started with him. And like I said, and that what made us the world police, the Truman Document. We signed all these agreements to protect this country, protect that country, protect this country. You don't see Mexico going over there and giving them people money, but we did. And that's why we can't give ourselves money. That's why our American economy is where it is. We give away too much money. Let's say unpaid sports say money is no longer any value in the eyes of the government. There is no cap on the budget. You're right. They don't care. These people in office, and they know what's coming. And that's why they say, well, shit, let's give away the house. It don't matter. We won't. It's just like these guys go out and buy a brand new car. And they know they ain't going to, you know, they're in a midlife crisis. They go out and buy a brand new car. They get like a 7 years, 84-month thing. And they say, okay, I ain't gonna have to pay for this. I'm not gonna be here that much longer. All right. Or somebody go get a 30-year mortgage and they 60 years old. Now they say, oh shit, I ain't gonna be paying for this house all my life, because they might not be here when they 90 years old and the house is paid for. So I'm just saying that's what the United States is doing. They going out and they spending on stuff because they know they won't be here. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Hey, my life is shaky. How you doing, my grandson? How you doing? Okay. Hey, Kiki Soto, how you doing? Urban Garden Girl. Yes, I think I turned this into a rant. I'm trying to keep the conversation restricted, trying to keep it down because, you know, like I said, I've been having trouble with my my video. See, now I'll say I'm buffering. See, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm just trying to keep it down. Hey, Huda, how you doing? Nobody cares about Washington now. We surely won't care about them in the SHTF. You're right. If SHTF, if it happened tomorrow, I ain't gonna say, oh Lord, what's happening to the president? Oh no. I'm gonna say, where's my kids at? Where my grandkids at? Y'all lock up the house. Make sure nobody comes in the house. You know, stuff like that. You know, stuff like that. I ain't worried about them. And it's gonna be every man for themselves. And if you got a group, You worry about your group getting to where they got to be or where you got to be with your group. Because, like I say, I'm bugging in. I'm a prepper. I've been getting stuff together for years and years and years. I'm not going to count that tomorrow's going to come because I don't know what tomorrow might bring. I'm not going to say I'm going to wait till tomorrow to do it. I'm going to do it today. I think somebody said, never put out what you could do today, tomorrow. I'm going to do what I can now. And I'm not going to count on what I might not be able to do later. So you better start gardening. If you don't know how to garden, watch these videos, learn from these people, and start gardening. People say, well, I'm a prepper. I don't need to be watching gardening channels. You better wake up and smell the coffee. So I'm just saying, you better learn. So you better start getting your food together, start putting water together, start putting stuff together, start making sure you're safe. And please, people don't be brainwashed. They spending all this stuff about every shooting in the world that's happening now. They're going to hear a lot about that because they're trying to take your guns. They're trying to restrict the amount of guns you can have. But you should ask yourself, and I'm plain and simple with this, you should ask yourself, like the other day here in Cleveland, the Cleveland police said they confiscated 1,400 guns this year from criminals. From criminals. Now, what that make you think? Criminals, this 1,400 guns that criminals had. How many guns did I have? How many guns do I got? In case it's 1,401 out there that's going to come to my house. So if they got guns, how come I can't have a gun? Because y'all ain't going to come in time to save me. You know what I mean? I know how 911 work. You know, they have you on the phone sometime for 3 minutes, and it only takes 1 minute for somebody to come in your house. They want to get in. So I'm just saying, don't believe the hype. Practice your Second Amendment right. Get you a gun. Learn to use that gun and protect yourself and your family because there's guns out there, and they all ain't in the police hands. There are a lot of them in the other people's hands because, like I say, when they said that, and I was telling my wife, I say, see, that's why we got guns because all these guns out there, and these are guns they just confiscated. Can you imagine how many more is out there? Yep. So anyway, I'm just saying, I don't mean to rant and rave, but I do. Okay. My grandson said the president is a puppet. Yes, all the presidents are puppets. Let's say it's all a plan. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's all a plan. And let's say, whoa. Gun Coast to Coast says, check again on sub. Oh yeah, they do that. I was having problems with that, getting upset about some people. Lori said, yeah, here it's raining so hard. I can't open my dang door right now. I'm over this rain crap. I won't be able to see nothing if it keeps up. See, it's been nice here. We getting that rain at night mostly around here because the heat. It's really hot here in Ohio, up here in the Northeast Ohio and Cleveland. It's hot, very hot. And I'm along the lakefront, so we get that rain. Pulse Jet, hey, haven't seen you in a while. Not feeling so well here. What did I miss? I'm just trying not to cuss and trying not to get too emotional about what's going on. While I'm on here, I just want to say before as people start dropping out and leaving me, Arlington Cemetery. If you guys never been to Arlington Cemetery, like I went to Washington, I've been to Washington quite a few times, and if you never been to Arlington Cemetery, go to Arlington Cemetery. Make sure you take some time. They do have rides that will take you to certain parts of the cemetery, so you don't have to walk the whole thing because it is huge. But I'm gonna tell you something. When I went to Arlington, I've been to Washington a lot of times, you know, the different museums and stuff like that. But I wanted to go to Arlington Cemetery, and I went to Arlington Cemetery. And let me tell you something. You go to Arlington Cemetery, you see some of the monuments and read some of them stories and all these, because everybody got monuments for every war. You know, you got all these things out there. And I mean, they huge monuments and stuff like that. It'll bring a tear to your eye when you actually realize the sacrifice that these people made to keep this country, yes, to keep it here. And so you're changed and have a lot of more respect for your military people once you go to Arlington Cemetery. It is. I went to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers, seen them do the shift, the change, and all that stuff. It is awesome. So if you ever get a chance to take the tour to go to Arlington Cemetery, you can spend a day there. It is awesome. I mean, it is great. And now a lot of people don't talk about that because it's sad when you go there because it's a cemetery. But the monuments and stuff there and the wall, they got the wall. I seen the wall, so it's good. Let's see. Red October say internet is slow. Not sure if in his. It might be mine because they try to cut off a lot of people. Too sick. The battle will be here. Too sick to run. The battle will be here. Pause jet. I understand. I was at the hospital yesterday getting a shot. So I feel better. I feel real good. I was getting cortisone. So, because of my arthritis, I got a hip for my hip. So I feel better. Needle hurt like hell, but I feel better. Let's see. I have access to a gun as long as the bad guys does. The bad guys may be the government. You never know. I'm gonna tell you something. If SHTH happened, and I'm gonna go back to the Ronald Reagan thing. Now I don't know if you guys remember when what's his name, John Hinckley shot Ronald Reagan, and we were all concerned. We were watching it on TV, and what was his name? Alexander Haig. Alexander Haig. He General Alexander Haig. He got up there and he took the microphone and he got in front of America and says, "I am now in charge." See what I'm saying? He is not the vice president. He is not the speaker of the House, but he got up there and said he was now in charge. He was just a general. He was like on the staff or something like that. And chain of command is gonna go out the window. As soon as one of them generals say, "Look, I'm gonna take over," because they wasn't running it good anyway. So I'm just saying, anything can happen. We may have a system in place where it goes from the president to the vice president to the Speaker of the House, the Secretary of State, and all that stuff. But stuff happened. Look for a general to step up. More spam. There's more people saying, "Look, you're getting too big. Gotta cut your channel down again." Because that last time they purged me, and I lost a lot of watch hours and a lot of people. So I don't know. Jerry Woodshop is in the house. Cops are rarely ever get there till the crime is already over. You're right about that. And if you live in a rural area, you know how long it takes you to get home from where the police station is at. If you happen to be in the downtown area, can you imagine how long it takes them to get to your house? If the police station is 5-6 minutes away, because you live farther out, it's 5 or 6 minutes away, you could be dead. You might be dead in 3 minutes because you didn't hold out any longer. So I'm just saying, you don't depend on yourself. Be self-reliant. Like I said, be self-reliant. Oh, and also be frugal. Don't go out and take unnecessary trips and stuff like that you don't really need to, because things right now, it ain't too wise to be too far from home and for a long distance of time. I'm not saying don't go on vacation. Go on vacation if you got a plan. Take the family on vacation. I'm just saying, if it's an unnecessary trip, don't take it, because see, things are getting to that point where you don't know when stuff might happen. My son was an honor guard there for a spell. Oh, at the Monument of the Unknown Soldier. Those guys are awesome. Let's see. Cindy Squirrel's in the house. You're on spot. It doesn't hurt anything to be prepared. You got to be prepared. Born again farm girls in the house. They right, Gramps. Maverick Pepper in the house. I'm bugging in until my canned goods run out or attack happen in my neighborhood. Stay as long as you can. Only thing can get me out of this house is fire. And I try to get I got some stuff for fire prevention, but it's probably only gonna be good for one time use only if it's a big fire. But I'm just saying, that's the only way. And if they burn me out, if they want my supplies and they burn me out, they ain't gonna get my supplies. I'm just saying, but it's not. Maybe they might go to somebody else's house and bypass you, and I know you ain't gonna feel sad if they do. Maccabees is on the house, off the grid. Yeah, Grandpa, I'm right up here in Kentucky. Oh yeah, you're not that far. You're not that far at all. Yeah, nope, you're not that far at all. I had family in Lexington for a while there. They moved though. I think they went to where did they go? They went back home. They went back to Tennessee. They moved to Chattanooga. Yeah, they went back to Chattanooga. Now that is what every school child should understand what we have and how many fought and died for it will give every American a different perspective. Yeah, they don't teach that in school. They don't. I don't even know what they teach in school, but I do know one thing. I got I got a couple of young relatives. I'm gonna say grand grand nieces, grand nephews. I got a couple of them that think they're smarter than me, and and they always try to challenge my knowledge. Knowledge they don't learn something in a book in school. They come home and then they start to try to tell me about it, and I be listening to them talk, and I be shaking my head because I say, that's wrong. And I had to explain to them what the truth is because I don't know what they teach these kids in school, but it's not the truth. That's why I say they being controlled, brainwashed, and manipulated. Because that's why it's going to be a sad world for a lot of them. Hey, Hefty Lefty. Let's see. Greetings, Ray and chat. Let's see. Let's see. Paul said, I live in the sticks, but the LOE can't be here in 30 minutes or so. I called them, but somehow I keep calling them on me. 30 minutes, man. That's a long time, though. Yeah. Long arm of the law. Long arm of the law. Green Organic Love. Hey, how are you? I'm okay. So let's see how long I've been. I've been here 45 minutes. Wow. This don't seem like it. And I haven't said anything to get my channel kicked off again, and I haven't really cussed. I don't really cuss. I try not to. I try to make sure I get my message across. So let's see. Adam says, I remember learning World War II in school, and when doing homework, my grandma would tell me, let me tell you what really happened. Yeah, because see, you got to remember, the history is always written by the winner. Even if the winners are the wrong people, they're gonna make a spin on it. And I want to use a modern day thing right now, and it don't really matter to me. But like that Washington thing, as I was watching it, I'm watching it. I'm looking at it on TV. I don't be listening to what these announcers say because CNN is anti-Trump. She was anti-Trump, but that other one, Newsmax, is pro-Trump. So they both gonna make the spin their own way. That's what I'm saying. They can both spin it their own way. So what you got to do is basically look and listen to the crowd and what's going on. And that's the way you figure out what's really going on. So when the history books write about what happened on the 6th of January, you can always tell your kids, I watched it, I seen it, and I know what happened. Just like those planes that hit the towers. We know what happened. So don't get fooled by the hype because each one is gonna spin it their way. It's just like the Civil War. Each person is gonna spin it their way. But I'll tell you one thing: I don't never want us to have a civil war here. I never do. The war will be over in the first 5 minutes. That depends. See. I gave that a lot of thought. I gave that a lot of thought, and everybody, including myself, think that the next world war is going to be fought on American soil. See, so we've been lucky. I mean, we really have been lucky as a country that we only had to fight a couple of times on our soil, and that was against supposedly our best friend, the English. But in the next world war, it's not going to just be fought over there in Europe and in the Middle East. Right now, we fight in the Middle East, and we don't feel the effects of a world war. But the next one, I think we're gonna feel the effect. I think they're gonna come here. Whether they win or whether they lose, they're gonna send troops here on American soil to make a point that they can be done. can't be touched. It's like what we did with Doolittle bombers. Do you guys remember that? The Doolittle bombers, just like what we did with the Japanese bomb Pearl Harbor. We got some aircraft carriers, and we put the planes on there, and we sent them right over. The first chance we got to drop bombs on Tokyo in Japan to let them know that they can be touched. And that's the same thing that would be happening here if we have a world war. They don't want to nuke us. They really don't want to nuke us, because nuking America is probably destroy the world, because we sitting on top out there around Idaho and all them places up there. We sitting on top of a massive volcano in Yellowstone. I almost said Yellowstone. And if they drop a bomb or a bomb go array and it hit that volcano, that's a world ender right there. Everybody knows it. Everybody in the world knows it. That's a world ender. You know what I'm saying? So nobody wants to nuke America if they can avoid it. If they do nuke America, they'll probably nuke New York or Florida or Texas. Sorry, Texas. I'm just saying. But they will definitely keep away from there. That's why I think people tell you that's the safest place to be in a nuclear explosion. But you never know. By nuclear them other places, might shift the fault line. It might make that move, and boom. So they kind of worry about nuking America, even though they will nuke it. One of them crazy people that don't know history and just want to end the world. But I don't really think that we're going to have to worry too much about nuke. I could be wrong, because I'm not one of them, what they call them, top men. If you ever watch Indiana Jones and they got the Lost Ark, and the guy goes to them and say, well, what did y'all do with the Ark? You know, Indiana Jones, the guy from the FBI say, well, we got top men working on it. The guy say, who? He said, top men. And that's how it is in Washington. They got top men working on this stuff. So I'm just saying, you got to be ready. You got to be prepared. But I say we're going to get troops here. And they're not going to try to win anything. They're going to try to get a foothold in anything. And it can be done here because it was done up in Seattle by people, regular, everyday folks. I don't know how to say this, but they held the whole city ransom. That was just crazy. I laughed. It's not a laughable situation, but I laughed because it was just stupid. But then shit would happen. I said shit. Stuff happened up there. I don't even know. Okay, let me get some of these comments. I'm way back. Okay. I'm out in the country. I like it that way. That's Lori. It says pause yet. I said that. Okay, now here we go. Detroit Prepper. Hypothetical question, Ray. If you had to lock down today, second wave, do you think you can hold 90 days at that point? Let me tell you. I can hold out as long as I can. 90 days, 180 days, a year, whatever it takes. As long as they don't burn me out, I can hold out. Because I'm not gonna put any time limit on how much I have or supplies I need. All I know is if I got shelter and I got protection and I got food, I can hold out. If the food run out, I got a huge lake right there. I got fishing supplies. I know how to fish. I've been fishing all my life. I can catch enough fish. I can kill enough squirrels. I will hold out as long as it takes. Even if I had to go loot a few vacant stores because people gonna be gone, they're gonna come and take people. I'm gonna hold out as long as I can, even if it had to be years. Because I'm not gonna just say 90 days. That's just a start. See, when people tell you, well, you gotta have at least 30 days to supply, but they never tell you what happened on day 31. Have you ever thought about that? What happens on day 31? They tell you need 30 days of supplies, but then they don't tell you what's going to happen on day number 31, 32, 33. See, most people going to say, well, we're going to have to leave. But then, okay, you're going to leave. You're going to go bug out. Now, your supplies are all gone. You're going to have to forge and loot for supplies. You might even have to rob people for supplies. So what are you going to do? That's what I'm saying. I mean, so I'm just saying you're going to have to go. I mean, some of us don't have 5-6 years of supplies space. You know what I mean? So you have to go ahead and you're going to have to end up like the the guys in The Walking Dead, where they kept ending up trying to find different places. That's why I say if you're able to learn how to farm, you can learn how to farm. You can grow stuff. I mean, you can maybe grow stuff that can extend your period of time wherever you at for another month or so. But I'm just saying, what you're gonna have to do, you're gonna have to realize what's gonna be next. You gotta have a plan. See, I have a plan of a plan of a plan of a plan. See, like I say, if the best thing, like I told people, the best thing that can happen to me, if they come in and they evacuate the whole city, let everybody go. Bye. See y'all. Everybody go. I got unlimited resources then, without having to worry about fighting off or hurting anybody to get them. If everybody's gone, I'll be like Omega Man, Charlton Heston in there, or Will Smith, I Am Legend, without the zombies or whatever those things were. Me and my group. So, and then my group is not as large as it used to be. So I got extra supplies. People in my group, they listen to me. And a lot of the people in my group, they split off into other groups. So I got at least, when I was just one group, now it's 3 of us. Now we got 3 groups. You see what I'm saying? That we all allied. We're not in the same part of town, but we're doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So we know that if anything go bad and we run out of supplies of each here, each there, we can always send out somebody to the other place and let them know that we're in distress, and maybe we can get together and do something. Get one big place or something. I don't know. It's a whole bunch of stuff. That's a whole other thing I'm talking about right there. That was me. But like I say, I can hold out 90 days. Like I say, I can hold out as long as it takes, whatever it takes. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Pause just say this link seems to have dropped out. Okay. Pause just eggs or meat or both. WD Glock howdy. Pause is my open range quail farm. Keep me going 90 days. See, there you go. Got chickens, got it made. Yeah, I had to get me a chicken. China Prepper Tribe in the house. I say Hudar Holler says China won't want America nuke. They own too much of it here. Yes, they do. They own. I covered that in one of my other videos when I say follow the money. We started following the money, and we found out all the shit that China have. But I'm gonna tell you something about China. China's in serious trouble right now financially. People might not know this, but their stock market, China got their own stock market, and their stock market took a big dip yesterday. A big dip. I don't know if it's gonna bounce back like it should or not, but because I don't really care. But I just saying, China just hit a financial low like we did a couple of times. And they just took a hit. I don't know why, because we're not in on that. I meant more of the mental aspect of holding indoors for 90 days. Okay, you talk about my mind. Old man's crazy mind. Okay, I'm not so much worried about my mind because, like I said, if you look at some of my videos, I got games and stuff like that. I got all that stuff. I mean, I might not have electricity all the time because I'm gonna have to ration it. Because you know how it is, we get a lot of clouds up here, so my solar won't be kicking in. But I got, and you never know what gas gonna be, so you might not even have gas because you can siphon them. I got one of those siphon things. We get battery operated. You might not be able to siphon enough gas out to keep the generators going. So I'm saying my mental state is fine. I'm old school. I don't need cell phones. I don't need stuff. All I need is a pencil and a piece of paper. It don't even have to be a good piece of paper because. I was born in the 60s. We didn't have stuff. We played outside. We have imagination. And that's what these kids lack now. They lack imagination. They don't know what's going on. But see, if they're in the house with me, they ain't gonna have to worry about their mental state because I keep them going. You know what I mean? See, when what they say, idle hands, the devil workshop, I keep them doing stuff. So they won't be bored or they won't do this, but it won't always be work, but it'd be things to do. So 90 days, my mental health would be good. Like I say, my mind is sharp right now. It's really good. Sometimes, when I talk too fast because I be thinking too fast, and I have stuff, it gets all coming out at once, I over talk myself. But everything to be good. I'm good. I prepared for this. I'm ready for this. Like I said, I got things for the younger people to do, because those are the ones you got to worry about, because those are the ones that want to go out to the nightclub. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that don't have jobs but want to go every place and hang out with no money in their pocket and stuff like that. You know. So yeah. So I mean, it's the younger people you got to worry about. You won't have to worry about us old people. We set. We know what we need to do. We thinking about what's going on the next 5 minutes, the next 10 minutes, and the next day. You know, we thinking about it, but so we can make plans for it. You know, but the younger people, they thinking about what they're gonna do right now, and it's gonna be that conflict, youth and old people, youth and maturity. That's what I should say, and because you know the most dangerous thing in the total shit, SHTF situation is gonna be teenagers, because they're the most dangerous thing now. Most of the shootings we have in the city here, teenagers. They gonna posse up, and they're gonna form gangs. You know, they gonna be forming gangs. You know what I mean? And they're gonna go and see what they can take. They ain't gonna see what they can steal. It ain't about stealing no more, because it's gonna be a total collapse. And so you're gonna see 10, 15, 20 of them coming down your street, you know, riding on mopeds or riding cars or whatever, see what they can take, and they're not gonna be unarmed. So don't think when you see these people coming, they're gonna be unarmed. They're gonna be like marauders, but they ain't gonna be organized. They're gonna maybe have 1, 2, maybe 3 people that got brains in the entire group, and the rest of them are stupid followers. Because you're talking about teenagers, 14, 15, 13, 12, whatever. Just like that situation they had with that girl, was she 14? The boy was 12, and they were shooting at the police. They think it's Grand Theft Auto. You see what I'm saying? That's what they growing up with now, and that's what they thinking. So that's what you got to deal with. So, like I said, I hope that answered your question. All right. Let's see what we got. Hey, all right, by Adrian, how you doing? I hope you and Paul doing okay. Okay. It says, don't worry, B. Gates will own most of the farmland by then. Well, you know what? He already do. He own most of it right now. Is what he's gonna do with it is what worries me. And right now he ain't doing nothing with it. So let's see. If Maverick Prepper says if something like a EMP kills off 90% of the population, what happens to the farmland they leave behind? Nothing. It's just cows are just gonna go do whatever they do. You know, a lot of them ain't gonna be milked, so a lot of them gonna be hurting, and animals not gonna be fed, so a lot of chickens gonna be dying. The ones not free range. A lot of things gonna happen. There's nothing you can do. I mean, unless somebody come there and say, "Hey, we got a brand new farm. There's no people here," and that's what's gonna happen. I mean, we just have to start over farming. I mean, it's gonna be animals gonna still be alive, but most of the major farms are owned by corporations. You see what I'm saying? Most of them are owned by corporations. It's just going to start all over. You got the land there, but you got to worry about the lawyers and all the litigation stuff. But then there won't be any real courts out there. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to be stuff. So I wouldn't worry too much about what's going to happen to the farmland. Just if nobody's there, if nobody owns it, just take it. I mean, you just end up with a bigger farm. Same thing with the city. If 90% of the population is killed off here, you get all these empty houses. I'm gonna go over here, some bunch of mansions down the street here. I mean, really, I'm about $5, $6, $7, $8, $9 million mansions overlooking the lakefront. I think I'll move out my little house here. I live my little 4-bedroom house. I'm gonna go move into a 12-room mansion. It'd be harder to heat, but I'm gonna move in there. That's it. See what I'm saying? It'd be every man for himself when you come to get property and land. Even though I still own this, I'll be moving on up. That's what they say, the Jeffersons. I'm moving on up. So anyway, I hope that helped, because people gonna move and grab what they can. That's the way life is. One likely scenario may be an EMP supplied by China carried out by a third party after they killed each other fighting for resources. The invasion would happen. Now, I really don't understand the question. I understand what you're saying, but you said a scenario with an EMP supplied by China carried out. So China's going to give them the EMP. They're gonna give it to a third party, which I don't know who third party is gonna be. Is it gonna be a local militia, or is it gonna be some crazy militant group, or what? Are they gonna give them that, and then they're gonna light the MP up and knock out a whole bunch of stuff, and then they're gonna start shooting and killing each other for the resources? So you talking about domestic terrorism, or what? I don't understand the question, Maccabees. Maybe I'm slow. Okay, and then the invasion will happen. Well, we do start fighting with ourselves with all this political strife out here, talking about Republicans, Democrats, and that stupid stuff. They can just walk on in the door. We be too busy killing each other. This is not gonna be like a civil war. This is gonna be bloodier. See, because we got a lot better weapons. I'll tell you that the truth. And those of you who still out there, the mindset that's saying Americans need to kill Americans, get the fuck off my channel. Excuse me. And I usually don't even get emotional like that, because Americans should never kill Americans. And that's the way I feel about it. After just go to the Arlington Cemetery and see who really saved this country. That's all I'm gonna say. Sorry, I apologize to everybody for saying the F word. I usually don't do that. I really feel bad about it, but it hit a nerve. The Maverick Rick out there, 10% knows the big garden. Lloyd, the grandpa prefer pencil and paper and read all as well. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Shoot, you know what? Let me tell you something. When I was carrying mail, a lot of these guys, they carry their cell phones and they be on their cell phones playing them games and stuff like that. I had me a search word book. I be looking for the word. You ever play those? I be sitting there with my pencil and piece of paper, my lunch break, searching for words. I don't need this electronic stuff. I can get along with a pencil and piece of paper. When I was in school, when I was in elementary school, we played this game, Connect the Dots. You know, we make all these dots, and you put a line here, your opponent put a line here, and then you put a line here, then you put a line there, then you put over here, you got a square, and then you got another square. You got, let's keep going on. Or you play SOS and stuff like that. We didn't have all this fancy technology. You know, you do that now to a kid, they're like, wow, this is the greatest thing. I can make a paper airplane to keep people in entertained. You know, the little airplanes you make. They don't know this stuff, but we used to do this stuff. It's all changing now. Let's say you're gonna have a huge garden with those little idle hands. I'm gonna have. Yeah, it's gonna be better. I got the land to do it. It's gonna be better than the container garden I got now. Like I got potatoes and onions in the ground right now. So I'm just saying, you got to grow something. Hey, Annie Oakley, how you doing? See, a lot of people don't have a clue how to survive anything. And right, Grandpa, we forgive you. $1 way to go, Grandpa. No apology necessary yet, but like I say, I really don't want to do that, because see, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and like I say, sometimes you just get emotional, and you just don't want to. You can just picture the blood and guts and stuff like that of people killing people for no reason. There is no reason. It's politics. There's no reason. Politics suck. You know what I mean? What happens to tic-tac-toe? Keep it simple. Yeah, tic-tac-toe. Yeah. See what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. You don't need electronics to have a good time. You know, you got a ball, play kickball. You know, get a baseball, a bat. We used to have a broomstick. We play stick ball. You see what I'm saying? But kids nowadays, I go outside and nobody's doing nothing. You might see some people later on at a basketball court, but that's about it. They don't do anything. If they ain't got their phone in their hand, they zombies. And the first thing that's gonna happen when an EMP hit or the power go out or something like that, a lot of them gonna go into panic. They're gonna go into shock. They go 24 hours without their phones or the internet. They're gonna go into shock. They're gonna be so scared. They're gonna be crying and panicking. And it's just gonna be bad. And I don't know what to tell you. It's just gonna be like that, because like I say, they've been brainwashed to having that. If they don't have it in their hand, or if they lose it, you should see them panicking. So I'm just through. I got a phone. I rarely ever use it. Matter of fact, I can get the internet on it. That's about it. I don't make no phone calls on it. I don't want to pay for the service because I don't call anybody on it. Let's see. We just have to make sure no politicians divide us. Yeah, that's hard to do. They already did. It's just that we need to get it back together. People need to wake up. They need to get out this matrix. We're in a matrix right now, and what I want you try to remember and to think back, because I can't figure it out. And think back, when did we start to get this political divide like this? When did we start to be split like this? We weren't split like this under Jimmy Carter. We weren't split like this under Ronald Reagan. When did we start getting this political split? Even under Bill Clinton, we were still together. Did we start getting this split when Bush took office? And you know Bush is part of the New World Order. Bush Sr., the first Bush. Is this when the divide started in America, to start to separate us from picking the right person, just calling us Republicans and Democrats? Is when it happened? Because I don't know. Because when historians look back on this and the fall of America, they're going to try to figure out when did the start of the divide the people started. And that's the only thing I can figure out, because like I say, Reagan, Carter, even Clinton, it didn't, it was no big deal. You vote for them, they do what they do. You didn't agree with their stuff, but we didn't want to go out and kill them. You know what I mean? So, but when Bush took office, that's when things started to get divided. That's the only thing I can figure. I mean, because it's always been Republican and Democrats. It's always been like that. But so now it's to the point where this two-party system, it cannot survive. It got to be changed. Because I try to say this. We heading toward martial law. It's coming. Because we conditioned to follow, we conditioned to follow. We as American, we conditioned to follow whatever political system that's out there that we are in. If you're a Democrat, you're conditioned to follow the Democrat, even though you don't know what they talk about half the time. If you're a Republican, you're conditioned to follow the Republicans because you don't know what they talk about the half the time. But so we're under that thing right now that you need to actually wake up, because both parties are the same. You got one wing of the bird here, one wing of the bird there, and they in Washington having a good time on our misery. So I'm just saying. Hey, try it, buy it, make it, sell it. How you doing? Let's see. Maybe Rick got a lot of conversations here. Let's see what he's saying. Okay. Detroit prepping. I swear, Ray, sitting at the kitchen table in the early 80s, listening to my great-grandmother and daughter of a slave talk about survival. We don't know what it was like. It's like, yeah. Let me tell you something. My father was born in 1911. My father was born in 1911. My mother was born in 1923. They both dead now. Now, my father's father was a slave. Okay? He was a little kid when they ended slavery, but he was a slave. So I know stories, but I don't talk about them because I can't really picture it, when they talk about stuff like that. So they grew up in the Jim Crow era. So I'm saying it is funny. It's funny, but my history is just so damn strange. It's just not like anybody else's. Sometimes I think I might be an alien. I might be a lizard person. I got their DNA. I don't know. Maverick say, "Who down?" Exactly. That's why I switched over from basic survival training to learning homestead skills back in around 90. My only concern is that people will butcher off all my lifestyle. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. So you need to have an alternative plan to maybe get a milk cow, and a couple of chickens that you can actually put in your house. Have a room that if shit go bad, and marauders or people are out there coming through your neighborhood, refugees don't care about your shit. Excuse me. Damn. Refugees don't care about your stuff because they just passing through your property, and if they see a cow there, they're going to eat it because they starving. Or if they see a chicken there, they're going to take it. They don't know nothing about having it lay eggs. So put your stuff in your house somewhere safe. If you got a horse, make sure you put that horse somewhere where you can see it, because they will steal your horse. I'm just saying. So have a plan for that. I mean, but that's a good thing you did, because like I said, I don't have horses here. We got deer, some deer. Let's see. From to see technology is creating isolation among the youth, which wait a minute, what happened? Oh, which is preventing social interaction. Yes, but you know what? That's another reason that we're in trouble. And that's one of the things that I think is coming down the line because right now everybody is concerned, rightfully so, about cyber attacks right now because of the information age we are in. And right now everybody concerned about it. But the reason I'm concerned about it is because it might become a sentient being. We might end up with the Terminator. It might become aware, of his being. Like what's that Ultron, and the Avengers. It might become smart and say people are viruses. We got to get rid of the virus. We can't fight AI. I mean, I don't know how to do it. I mean, we had to keep all our electronics off and everything. I mean, but everything we got electronics in it. Clock, copier, computer, television. I mean, my watch is digital, so it's not electronic. But I mean, but you know what I'm talking about. I mean, to keep it out. But it might be like it's like iRobot. We could be in that situation. They say they mean us no harm, and they steady killing our people, putting us in internment camps and stuff like that. So I don't know. So that's a whole other thing. See, it'd be a lot simpler if we can all go back to living on green acres or in Petticoat Junction or something like that. But it ain't like that now. Things are really tough. And it's so much different now. Right now we just feeling good and feeling right. But other than that, we never know what's gonna happen. Let me see. Mavericks. So few people know how to preserve meat. They only get 2 or 3 meals off a cow before the rest of the meat spoil. You're right. They don't know how to can. I haven't canned any meat, but I have vacuum sealed some stuff. I have vacuum sealed some meat, and I put it up, put in my freezer, and I also do some canning of some not preservative, but juices. I do my own juices and stuff like that. Yeah, so I do a little, but I said I don't do a lot because, like I said, I'm in the city, but I do what I can. I'm not gonna just sit up there and not do anything. Eddie Oakley, 77, yeah, he was a loser too. Wings of the same bird, the Bush crime family. Don't mess with the Bushes. I think they say all these presidents are related. I say they say that one of the ones that wasn't related was Kennedy, and the other one was it Johnson? Yeah, I don't know. You can go on the internet. They'll show you the history tree of American presidents. I've seen it, and I was surprised. Even Obama is related to him. It's Trump is too. And Trump is related to the Clintons. That's funny. It is funny. It's like England over there. All the kings of Europe and stuff was related. The Russian Tsar, the King of England, the German princesses, and the King of Norway. They all related. They all family. And they started world wars. Family bull. You know what I'm saying? That's just crazy. Okay. Let's see. And people are creatures of habit, which they manipulate the mind of society into false belief. Yes, right. Either it's always something, when people want power. When people want power, they would do anything and everything to get it, regardless of who they hurt. Perfect example, Jim Jones. You know what I mean? He wanted power. He started off okay. He started off good. He started off helping people, but then he got that power. He seen that the power was there, and then he started changing, started manipulating. He wanted more power. He built a whole community in damn near another country, and he wanted power. And power, but they say power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely, and that's what happened. And that's what's going on now. It's like these guys in these mega churches. I don't know which churches you belong to, but some of these guys in these mega churches, I'm not picking on the church in general. I'm picking on some of the people that's in these churches that run these churches and not doing what they're supposed to do. So I'm just saying these some of these mega churches guys, you see dirt coming out on them all the time. I was surprised from some of this stuff that I heard about some of these guys, and it just shocked me. So I'm just saying. So sometimes they start off with a good idea and they end up getting corrupted. Because it's always, like they say, we don't battle against flesh and blood, but power and principality. You know, like I said, if you don't know your Bible, you better pick it up and read it because you never know what might happen tomorrow. You better be prepared to go to another place. Like I say, I prep every day with that too. Mind, body, and spirit. People are creatures of habit. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for anyone or your family that went through that. Okay, the day used is crippled by design. Yeah, they want to dumb them down. They want to make it even dumber. They do. They want to make them even dumber. You mean eat your horse? People eat horses, Detroit prepping. I remember back when we had a food crisis and they was giving us government cheese and stuff like that. They were selling horse meat in the stores. I remember that. That was in early 70s. People don't believe me, but they were selling horse meat. Yeah, and then we had some stores that were selling spoiled meat too, but those guys got put out of business. So, building a smokehouse is another way to store meat. Make jerky out of meat has been used for centuries. Yeah, I seen that. And then they have salted meat too. And my father used to know how to do the smokehouse thing because they had a smokehouse. He was from Tennessee. He was from Tennessee. He was from a small town, Shelbyville, down there. And they had walking horses. You know, Tennessee walking horses. They had walking horses and all that stuff. Like I said, he knew a whole bunch of things. Small engine repairs. He worked on the railroad. It was a whole bunch of stuff he passed along. That most of it I picked up, but some of the stuff I haven't used in so long that I don't even remember it. Building smokehouse is another way to store meat. Yes, that's good. Hey, Pilgrim Prepper, how you doing? Yes, jerky will last. I think more people should have a smokehouse. Yeah, Joel Osteen really bothers me. Yeah, Joel Osteen. He's all right, I guess. I don't know. It was funny when they got in trouble on the plane. His wife did. That's a whole other story. So I think I'm all caught up on the chats. I am not too far from Shelby, or locals call it Shelbyville. Yeah, Shelbyville, Tennessee. Yeah. Yep. I got some people that live in down by Middle Tennessee State University too. Yep, down in there. Freeburg. Yep, I got people living down there. Like I say, I got a large family. A lot of them still down south. I got people in Atlanta, people in New York. I had people in Detroit, but they moved out. You know, I had a sister up there. She was up in Detroit. I had an uncle. He died. He was up in Detroit. I don't know what happened to his son. I don't know. Lost track of him. And like I said, I got people in California. I got people all over. I got a big family, big extended family, big family. But that's enough about me. And y'all ain't come listen to me talk about my family. So anyway, what was that? Oh man, it's over an hour already. Woo! I wasn't meaning to talk this long, but maybe I take a little bit longer. Let's see. Middle Tennessee State University, about 15 miles from me. I'm in a rural area. You're in a good spot, Adam. Beautiful country down there. I've been down there. I was down there a couple of years ago. I was down there. Because I had to stop off in Nashville. I was in Nashville. I was visiting my daughter. She was at Fisk University, and I stopped off from there. I was picking her up, bringing her back home for vacation, and yeah, that's a nice place, nice area down there. Y'all get too many tornadoes. You get too many tornadoes. I'm close to UT. Is that Utah, University of Tennessee? Because I know Tennessee State is in Nashville. I know that much. And what's that other one? God, I can't even think of that guy's name. It is always right there too, right downtown. We do get a lot of tornadoes. Yeah, last time I went down there, I was driving down I-65, and a tornado had just passed. I mean, I could see it. I could actually see this tornado. It was like to the left of me out there, and it was in this field, and I was so nervous. I wasn't scared. I was just saying, I have never seen it that close before, a tornado, because see, where I live at, we don't get tornadoes here. We get them in Ohio, but I'm in the city. You don't get a tornado in the city because the buildings won't let the air flow like that. We get like straight line wins if we do get something. Vanderbilt, yes, that's in Nashville, Vanderbilt University. So anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So the situation about our kids. I don't have any young kids except grandkids. You know, most of my nieces and nephews, I think my youngest niece is about 36, 37. You know, that's my youngest niece. Shit, I got a daughter that's in her mid-30s. So I'm like I say, I don't have any young kids except my grandkids. Now I do have grandnephews that's teens and in their early 20s and stuff like that. Yeah, I got one that might end up playing basketball one day. I don't know how he got so tall. He's like 7 feet tall. Last time I seen him, I say, "Whoa, who's that little kid that was about this tall? This guy's 7 foot tall. He's only 18. He go to a special school. Some guy got him a scholarship or something to go to some special school. I don't know what's gonna happen. You can be tall, but that don't mean you'll end up being anything other than just tall." Okay, so anyway, that's a whole other stuff. Check out YouTube and Freeport Tornado Good Friday 2009. Wow, y'all had a tornado on Good Friday down there? Yeah, let's see. With 2009 I'm trying to figure. I might have been down there in 2009 when that happened. Because there was this 21. No, I was down there before 2009 when I seen my tornado down there. That probably came out right after that tornado. Yeah, I was down that way when them tornadoes kept coming and tearing stuff up. But I'm gonna check that out. Prepper Vet Mitchell, the pile behind is not growing. I got a couple of hats I keep in my car. I keep about 3 hats in my car. You know, my van. I got a van. Yeah. But I got Commander's Bacon hat back there in the pile now. I got a hat from Commander Bacon. You know, Doug, His Way Homestead. I got a hat from him. So anyway, like I said, I've been talking longer than I usually talk, and I didn't want to really say too much, and I think I did. But that one thing, my channel didn't disappear. It didn't evaporate. It didn't do a lot of buffering. I think Uncle Al said I buffered a little bit, but that's good. So let me try to recap, which is going to be hard to do. A lot of things that I was talking about, I'm going to try to recap. I think I covered to politics, trying to keep the conversation restricted. I covered some things about Arlington Cemetery, about defunding the police. I was talking about the eclipse that's coming tonight, you know, the Ring of Fire, the eclipse. I was talking about a little bit about the invasion if they come. What do you do right after your food stuff get down to your point where you consider it safe, like after 90 days or 30 days or whatever? I think I covered a whole lot because basically I was just having a conversation and reading a lot of comments. You say, Brett Mitchell, me too, veterans hat. Yeah. Let's see. I saw that tornado hit April 10th, 2009. I was right across the bridge at exit 78 when it dropped about 50 yards from me. It was wow. Man, if I see the tornado hit 50 yards from me, I would have wet myself. Might even soiled myself because that's just too close. That's too close. That's like in the movie Twister. That's just way too close. People don't realize the power when you see one of them actually on the ground. Like I said, I seen one actually on the ground, but it wasn't that close. It was farther away. I was on the freeway. That thing on the ground, you can just see the power of that thing. It's just awesome. Now I have been almost hit by lightning. I think that happened I was about maybe 100 yards from the tree, the sidewalk where they hit, but I could feel it in the ground. You know, I could feel it. You can actually feel it. But it shook us and your legs was sort of just tingling and numb. Yeah, I remember that. That was a lightning strike. Thanks for hanging out, Uncle Grandpa. My day lays in Arlington Cemetery. My dad lays in Arlington Cemetery. Okay, thank him for his service when you go there. Yeah. So yes. So I'm gonna tell you something. If you go to Arlington Cemetery, don't mess with the coins on the headstones. They represent things. Okay, they did that. And if you with a tour guide like I was with a tour guide that explained everything to us, and they told you what each one recognized, the nickels, the pennies, and the quarters. They tell you what each one represents. So like I say, if you go to Washington D.C., yeah, it's all right to go to the Smithsonian's and stuff like that, the Black History Museums and stuff like that. But if you like me, pay your respects to the people that really deserve it, and go to Arlington Cemetery. It'll make your day. It really would. Like I say, it's not just one small place; it's a big place. And like I say, you won't have to walk it if you don't want to. They got we didn't walk it because we had the tour carts and stuff that came. Because they have them running every 2 or 3 minutes. You can take the one you on, get off, go do something, come back, and wait for the next one because they run all the time. They're not like your local buses. The Perfect Vet Mitchell say, I have many friends from Vietnam buried there. Yes, and make sure you check out the wall too. It's like I say, it's very good. It's very good. Like I say, it changed it did change my perspective on things, and that's why every chance I get, I always tell the veterans thank them for their service. And like, even though I got veterans in my family, but they're still alive. But when you go there and you meet the people that are not here no more, so you can tell them in their face, it makes a big difference when you go there. And then when you're with a tour guide and somebody that's there that can explain things to you, and they can tell you what people are buried at and things that they have done, it makes a really big difference. And then if you get there for the changing of the guard at the tomb of the unknown soldier, that's a great thing to see. You get to see that at least once in your life. See, it's all right to go see the Lincoln Monument and all that stuff, the Capitol building. But see, I went before they started putting the fence up around the White House. When I went, it was just a regular fence. You can get right up on the fence. I got pictures. I'm like 100, maybe 50 yards from the White House itself, and they were still doing tours. But they don't do that anymore. Now they got it barricaded off. That's the way our society is. Ray, how long has that tomb of unknown soldiers been guarded? I forgot. I don't know. But as far as I know, it's always been guarded. I remember back when I was a kid in the 60s, President Kennedy, he went there and he laid a wreath on Veterans Day at the unknown soldiers, because a lot of the stuff, like I said, because it was all on TV, because like I said, I wasn't old enough to go to those places then. I was like a kid. I was like 10, 12 years old. But you knew about the tomb of the unknown soldier. You knew about it. Yeah. So like I said, the cemetery's been there, I don't know what, since the Civil War. Because Arlington used to be Lee's home, and they took it and made it to a cemetery. Was a Fort Lee, Virginia today. My hip was hurting bad. I was hit by a round coming up through my helicopter. Wow. Man, that's sad. I knew a guy that flew helicopters. He's dead now. His name was Russell. Yeah, I knew him. He was married to a friend of our family, and he was telling me about when his helicopter, this chopper got shot down. It was on a rescue mission, and they got shot down, and they had to be rescued. He was telling me the story. That's back when I was drinking, because he was drinking. He's a drinker. We used to just sit there and he tell me the stories. Since 1973. Adam says it was since 1973 that they've been guarding the tomb. Mitchell shattered my hip bone and never been right since 70. Yeah. You probably got hit with an AK-70, AK-47 round of 7.62. That bullet could do some damage. Alexia, 1937. Ray, Hefty Lefty. Ray, will you be revisiting that topic of addiction and shit at the fan? I should. Matter of fact, if you want me to, maybe on my next live, I could talk about it, because and like I said, matter of fact, I can talk about it a little bit now. 1937, they was guarding the tomb of the unknown soldier. Yeah. Yeah, so let me tell you something. Like I do have people in my family that's recovering. I have two, well, two people in my group that's recovering from addiction. I'm gonna say I still got one in my group that's recovering from addiction. You know, because I don't know, every family got them. I got a big family, and I got a whole bunch of them. Not a whole bunch of them. I'd say I got my share. You know, I got my share. But right now, I do have one member of my family that's been recovering. She got like what 12 years now, 12 years sober. Yeah, she goes to the meetings. She got a group and everything. They get together all the time. She got a sponsor. As a matter of fact, she's sponsoring people now. And yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy when you first find out and you start wondering what's going on and things happening, changes in their attitude and personality, and they always seem to be on edge. So you come home, you can smell it on them. You can either smell the booze, or you can smell the weed, or you can smell whatever. It's not easy dealing with that, but you try to, and you can't tell them what to do, but they don't do whatever they want anyway. So you just gotta. Everybody got their own way of dealing with it. It was just hard for us. It was just very hard for us. But then I think what really happened when they were threatening to take her kids away, and she had to do community service and stuff like that, probation, all that stuff, and she came out good. She came out better than ever. Came out being the person she was before all this stuff happened. You get with the wrong influences and stuff like that, that could, that could make it happen. You get around these people and say, hey, one drink won't hurt you, or smoke this, it won't hurt you, and next thing you know, it's all out of pocket. I had a brother. He dead now. He died. He was 50. He was stationed. He was in the Air Force. He was stationed in Malmstrom, up there, guarding those missiles at Malmstrom Air Force Base, with the aliens be all the way around up there. And when he came out of service and he came back home, he was all right. He was doing good. He was doing okay. He went in and he was he was a smart. He was way smarter than me. He was actually the smartest person in the family. He had got 3 scholarships to go to college, and he went to the military. And he's the smartest person I ever known. But he's dead now. But he got hooked on that stuff. Not when he was in the service, but when he came out of the service, he started fooling around with people, and he, like I said, he was never on the streets. He was never a street person. He was what you would call a real nerd. He was smart. And that's what gets a lot of these people. A lot of smart ones get hooked up on that stuff. And he never did recover. He ended up going to the VA recovery program, and they was giving him this stuff, which made it even worse. And like I said, he never did recover, and he ended up dying. He's only 50. Yeah. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, let me get back to the questions. It came through the bottom of the chopper into my hip. He still flew back to the base. Man, I bet you lost a lot of blood. The song that smells my Leonard Skinner laugh out loud. Yeah, Leonard Skinner, Erica Adam. Vietnam was a horrible, deadly war. We can always thank the French for that war. My brother passed away at 50. He used drugs and alcohol didn't help. Yeah, that's why I said my brother passed away at 50. Yeah, he was the one that was in front of me. Yep. He was a Vietnam vet. Yeah, but he didn't get to go to Vietnam. He was that era. They had that era. He was in basic. He was in basic when they started bringing people home. But my other brother Joe, he was over there. He was over there for Tet. He's dead too. Okay. See you later. My daughter, she's leaving out. Okay. So anyway, we lost a lot of people. And that, like I say, that's a sad era in our lives. And like I say, to this day, that's it's just sad. I mean, that's about all I can say. It just didn't make any sense. But we do what we told because we are like that, and that's one of the things that we got caught up in, being the police of the world. And like I said, a lot of people over in the Middle East will tell you the same thing, that we getting caught up in stuff because we the police of the world. Thank you, Truman. That's gonna be his legacy, but the Truman doctrine is out there. All right, look here, people. Thank you guys. I've been talking way too long. I usually don't talk this long. I was only planning on talking about an hour. I talked it's already an hour 40 minutes. So I really enjoyed this, because like I said, I was trying to keep the conversation to a minimum, and I really want to start talking about stuff, which I could really go longer, but I don't want to, because like I say, we got to be ready, because it's hot out there, and like we was talking earlier about the tornadoes are coming. Devastating weather is heading our way, so we got to be ready for that. And like I say, and if anything started to go bad, we started to get ready to hit that 100% thing. Be ready for the looters. It's gonna be looters and vandalism out there. And if you're a senior citizen, don't be afraid. Just be prepared. I mean, because fear ain't gonna do nothing but make you scared. I mean, you've been around a long time. Ain't no use of being scared. All right, that's all I'm saying. I'm not scared. You know what I mean? Well, I'll get worried, but as far as fear go, I'm not gonna let the other people use fear as a weapon against me. Nope, I'm not gonna do that. I may be worried, but I'm not gonna be afraid. Because if I had to go, I have to go. But let me tell you something. If 5 guys or 4 guys broke into my house right now, it's gonna be 4 dead ones and maybe me. But they're not walking out. They're not walking out of this house or something like that. That's only if SHTF happened. I'm not just saying I'm going to shoot people. I can't say that on the channel. Well, okay then. Well, I'll see you guys later. Everybody take care. And thank you, YouTube. And thank you.